dream road trip.
I love the van.
And a couple in love turn into this.
We begin with news that no one wanted to hear tonight.
They have found human remains.
How did we get here? Discovering so many pieces of the puzzle, only to uncover even more questions.
Because I don't know necessarily what to believe anymore.
But to really understand this case and to find out what happened to the young woman at the center of all of this,
I just hope that people are inspired by her.
we have to go back to the very beginning.
I love the van.
2 people went on a trip, 1 person returned.
Tonight, is the boyfriend inside this house behind me? We just don't know.
Tonight, retracing Gabby Petito's final days through Utah
We can't change what happened yesterday.
and Wyoming.
And really be on the same exact route as Gabby.
Correspondent Brian Entin taking us to the places she was last seen on a mission to get answers. Because just when you thought you'd learned everything, just when you thought there were no clues left,
That wasn't what everybody said.
you're wrong. A special edition of NewsNation Prime starts right now.
Live from Chicago, this is NewsNation Prime with Marnie Hughes.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for a special edition of NewsNation Prime. I'm Marnie Hughes, and for the next hour, we are going to be focusing on Gabby Petito, her disappearance, her death, the search for Brian Laundrie, the people involved, and the ongoing investigation into what happened. Our mission is to find answers, to look back at all of the clues and dig into the timeline of events as we know them. And to do that, we're going to have to start at the beginning. NewsNation correspondent Brian Entin has spent weeks on the ground in Florida, and tonight he is on the other side of the country at Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, retracing Gabby's final days. Brian, good evening to you. After covering this case so closely from the very beginning, what is it like to be there tonight?
Well, Marnie, you know, we were outside the Laundrie family home in Florida for almost 6 weeks, and I was talking about all of these places for so long that I've now finally been able to visit. Moab, Utah, where this all started, where the traffic stop happened. Salt Lake City, the hotel where Gabby stayed when Brian went back to Florida for that short time. And now here where we are in Teton, where Gabby's body was discovered. We were at that location today. It was surreal and emotional to be there. We're going to take you through all of those steps coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, Brian, and stand by. We're going to come back to you in just a moment to share with everyone what you have found visiting those final stops on Gabby and Brian's trip. But first, we want to take you back and show you everything that has happened from the time we first learned of the van life couple, and we heard those names, Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie.
It was September 13th when Gabby Petito's story reached the world.
Well, have you heard about this? This couple set off on their dream cross-country road trip and documented the entire thing on YouTube, and then only one of them came back. It has set off a nationwide search for a 22-year-old. Her name is Gabby Petito.
Hello, and good.
Within days, suspicions grow around the only person who was on the trip with her.
At this point, has he talked to police at all?
No.
And how frustrating is that?
It is 100% frustrating. I mean, the fact that we have somebody who may have been the last person who's seen her, who has specific details on her potential whereabouts.
It doesn't make sense, and it's unfair to say that you can sit in the background when basically the entire nation is trying to figure this out.
Igniting a nationwide search.
This is what matters. That is it. I'm asking for help, everyone at home. I'm asking for help from the parents of Brian.
Days later, we get a new picture of the couple's relationship.
Body cam footage surfaced in Utah.
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl. He was slapping her? Yes.
Galvanizing an entire online community.
So everybody stop scrolling and pay attention to this poster.
Before a heartbreaking discovery.
Sadly, though, she was found today in Grand Teton National Park.
The pressure surrounding the Laundrie family gets even bigger.
Absolutely, he should turn himself in.
Turn yourself in. They're hunting. They'll find you.
And the search for Brian turns into a manhunt.
We're up over Carlton Reserve right now, and when you look around from up here in the helicopter, you can tell just how massive it is. 24,000 acres.
Weeks of searching.
Terrain's very difficult. Essentially, 75% of it's underwater.
This is wearing on everyone. Everybody has a level of stress. Everybody has the drive, and that's really what's carrying us through.
Grieving.
She's with us. She's with us.
Anger.
The Laundries did not help us find Gabby. They're sure is not going to help us find Brian.
And digging at campsites.
Have you seen Brian Laundrie?
I haven't. I don't know anything about it.
The Appalachian Trail.
And I'm 99.99% sure that was him.
And outside the Laundrie home.
What was that small jar that they took into the camper?
In my opinion, it was an evidence collection tool. They are going in there and looking for DNA evidence, hairs, fibers.
Each night, shocking new information.
And she said, Brian grabbed my face. She's clearly distraught. We see some new angles of that police encounter. As an investigator, how do you receive this video and what do you do with it?
She was definitely victimized here.
New voices enter the story.
We start tonight with Brian Laundrie's sister, Cassie.
Well, let's just go to the headline here because I couldn't believe it when I heard it. She was asked,
do you think they're involved, your parents?
And she said, I don't know. She didn't say no. She said, I don't know.
New accusations.
If he was staying with his parents at the house and I was out there, there were a lot of police outside the house a lot of the time.
Why didn't you see him?
I didn't see him, and I was out there. Police were out there. I mean, we've heard stories. Could he have gone out a back door? Could he have, run through a yard? I mean, do you have any idea?
Yeah, no.
And revelations.
Cause, death by strangulation, and manner is homicide.
And a new focus on finding justice for Gabby.
Is there anything you want people to know? You and Roberta haven't said anything.
If he's watching, is there anything you want to say?
After weeks of frustrating searches, just when it seemed like there was nowhere else to look, this.
We begin with breaking news in the Gabby Petito case and that ongoing manhunt for Brian Laundrie.
They have found human remains. They are not
opening the floodgates to even more questions for authorities.
Where is Brian tonight?
We know where Brian's at, but I'm not going to say what location he's at.
Today, for the first time, Josh Taylor, the public information officer, clarified why he says they believed they had eyes on Brian when they actually didn't.
And the Laundrie parents.
You have suggested that any claims that the Laundries planted items in the reserve is hogwash. Why?
If I'm the only one who has to say that this is hogwash because I didn't want to say the word bullshit, then I'm going to say it. It's bullshit. And I'm sorry.
Just the anger level. I mean, he was very, very upset in that interview, which was interesting because, he's representing the Laundries, and for him to...
And after all this, some wonder what's next, where the investigation goes from here, and most importantly, will Gabby ever get justice?
So much has unfolded over the last 7 weeks, and Brian Entin has been there for every single moment and development. And tonight he is joining us again from Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, where Gabby's body was found. Brian, you walked through all of the places that we have been talking about until now, and tonight you're back there and you're going to take us all back.
Yeah, Marnie, this all ended here in Grand Teton National Park, where we are right now, tragically ended. But there were so many little steps along the way, and we traveled the exact route that Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie went, ending here in Grand Teton, but before this, Jackson, Wyoming, Salt Lake City, and where it all began in Moab, Utah. Moab, Utah, surrounded by beautiful red rock, blue skies, and crisp, clean air. It is gorgeous and peaceful. But Moab is the place we first saw that Brian and Gabby's relationship was not what was portrayed in their social media videos.
What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
Gabby, Brian? Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
Sorry, we've just been fighting this morning.
This is the Moonflower Co-op. You remember outside this store is where the altercation happened between Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. A 911 caller called in a domestic dispute, but we still don't know exactly who that person is because police are still keeping that name redacted in all the police reports. We went to the Moab Police Department, where Assistant Chief Braden Palmer agreed to talk with us. The first thing he wanted to do is send his condolences to the Petito family.
I really want this family to understand where our hearts are right now. It's been emotionally trying on us, right? We don't deal with this every day.
Moab is a small town, and this is a small police department that's been under the microscope of the world since the body cam video of the August 12th incident was released.
When you're singled out, you're the lead officer surrounding the national attention. I think it's safe to say those officers are struggling right now.
Did the officers miss domestic violence warning signs that could have saved Gabby? An outside agency is now investigating and is expected to release their findings soon. Assistant Chief Palmer says at least one of the officers involved wanted to talk to me, but because of the open investigation, he's not allowed.
I'm not going to sit here and say that we're not willing to take this incident and learn from it, because we are. We evaluate what we do every day, constantly. A bit about right here is where our first officer's vehicle would have been.
Assistant Chief Palmer took us to the spot where they stopped Brian Laundrie. So this is where the traffic stop was?
Yeah, so this is where the traffic stop would have taken place. Kind of where our patrol vehicle is sitting right now is where the initial officer roughly would have been when he made the traffic stop, with the van out in front, and then our second officer, when he arrives, pulls up alongside the curb behind us. So.
In the end, the officers decided not to make an arrest and instead separate Brian and Gabby for the night. Yeah, for the night, okay? Brian ended up here, just down the street, at the Bowen Motel. The clerk told me the person who checked Brian in no longer works at the motel, and the owner says they don't have surveillance video of Brian arriving. It was a similar story at the co-op and this coffee shop where Brian spent time in Moab. Workers did not want to talk or give surveillance video. Besides the body cam video, police say they have not obtained any video of the couple in Moab. After leaving Moab, Brian and Gabby would head north on Highway 191. That's where we are right now. The scenery is absolutely breathtaking. It's beautiful out here. They eventually made it to Salt Lake City. On August 17th, Brian flew home to Florida, leaving Gabby behind at this hotel near the Salt Lake City airport.
Hello. Good, how are you?
Good. I'm a reporter in Florida.
The manager told me they were instructed not to say anything, and I got the same line at this restaurant next door. When Brian returned to Utah, he and Gabby continued north in the van, eventually making it to Jackson, Wyoming, and Mary Piglet's restaurant on August 27th.
Yeah, thank you. It wasn't what everybody said.
It wasn't.
Not at all.
The manager did not want to go on camera, but she had a lot to say. I took notes because I wanted to get it all right. She says everything that's been on the news about what happened here is made up. She says there was no loud voices, no one got angry, no one threw a fit here, but she says that Gabby and Brian did leave the restaurant without paying, and she says that the server followed them outside, that they paid the bill out here on the street, and that Brian was very calm, but then that they came back into the restaurant together, and that Gabby said that she wanted her money back, and the restaurant said that we're not going to give you your money back, and that then Gabby and Brian left. I asked about surveillance video, and she said that they did have video, but they didn't know it was significant at the time, and that it's since been deleted. Mary Piglet's was the last place Gabby was seen alive. Her van later found down this dirt road in the Spread Creek camping area near Grand Teton National Park. It was first spotted by the Bethune family of bloggers on their dash cam. So we're using the Bethune family bloggers video to try and find the exact spot where the van was. In their video, it looks like it's right here up on the other side of this tree. So this is where Gabby's van was parked, right here on the side of this dirt road. And the body was discovered back this way. It's a bit of a trek back to the site, through several different creeks, back behind the tree line, with with only the sound of the rushing water, we found the place. So this is the spot where Gabby's body was discovered, right here in between these trees. You can see there's this stone cross. This is the cross that Gabby's stepdad created here when he visited the site where her body was found. Gabby's van was parked about 1,000 feet that way on the other side of all of those creeks. We saw orange spray paint left behind by investigators and messages left for Gabby. Such a sad ending to a beautiful, bright life. But at least there's some comfort knowing she was surrounded by the nature she loved. And it was certainly surreal being out there. It's such a remote area where Gabby's body was found. There are a number of different stone crosses now that have popped up right there along the road where the van is, right on the other side of that embankment. But it's really quite a ways back to the place where the body was, where Gabby's stepdad put that stone cross. Marnie?
It is just chilling, Brian. It is heartbreaking to go back to that very place. I know her family went back there as well. Along this journey that you took, retracing their steps, did anything stand out to you as you made all of those stops in terms of the trip they made, something that you learned that we didn't already know?
Well, a couple of things stood out to me, especially in Moab. How many people just did not want to talk about the situation or about Gabby Petito? They were obviously alarmed by what happened in their town. It's a very small town. They don't normally see incidents like this. I think there was also concern there about the image of the town now. You know, Moab is sort of on the map now for a different reason related to this entire situation. So I was surprised how many people, stores that we would go in, places where we would try to find surveillance video where people were just flat out basically like, we're not talking about it, you know, can you please leave? That was the first thing. The second thing that surprised me was when we went to the spot where Gabby's body was found. When I heard 1,000 feet from the van, I sort of thought it was just going to be in a field right there, but it was really quite a ways from the van, and you had to walk through several creeks, which I didn't realize just how involved it was, which obviously made me think back to what happened and when she was taken there, and then it was quite a journey from where that van was parked.
And the tragic end. Brian, thank you. We'll see you shortly. Up next, the investigation, the autopsy into Brian's death, and his parents, Chris and Roberta Laundrie. Former FBI agent Jennifer Coffendorfer standing by live. Plus, the search for Brian and Gabby nationwide became the catalyst to making more discoveries. Other people who were missing, but are no more. Welcome back to our special report, Getting Answers, Gabby's Final Days. Before the break, we retraced the end of Gabby and Brian's road trip, and we looked at the timeline of events as we have come to know them. Now that we have seen all of that, do those final stops reveal new clues or just add to this mystery? I want to bring back Brian Entin, who is live in Grand Teton National Park, along with former FBI agent Jennifer Coffendorfer tonight. Thank you both again. Jennifer, I want to start with you. Looking back at those final days of their journey together, Brian and Gabby, give us a view through your investigative lens. What stands out most to you?
Well, I think when we go back, we have to look at what is the FBI going to look at to prove this case, to prove a case against the killer of Gabby Petito. It starts with who had the opportunity. And the van coming back with Brian and without Gabby showed that he was the last person probably with her. If she were still alive, why would he have the bank cards? She would need the bank cards to function. The camping incident, it's incongruent with somebody who has just lost a loved one in terms of being missing. They would be looking. The lawyering up process. Why would you lawyer up if she had just stayed behind? Brian, gone. A lot of people who commit these types of crimes either commit suicide or they go on the run. Of course, Gabby's body being found and the DNA and autopsy evidence that's going to be able to be gleaned from that. And then also you want to prove what was the motive? What was the motive for this person to commit this crime? And in this case, the Moab video, as well as the Mary Piglet situation, provides that final answer.
And potentially what was in that notebook that was found at the reserve. Brian, let's bring you in here. Security cameras outside that coffee shop that you visited, also the co-op, they did not want to give away the surveillance video, as you mentioned. Did they say why, and if police interviewed any of those people or happened to see the video, and if it revealed anything?
Well, that was really the most surprising takeaway, I would say, from Moab for me, is we went there thinking we were going to get surveillance video because there are so many stores and shops right in that area, and we ran into a couple of things. Many of the businesses, when this all happened back in mid-August, didn't know that it was significant and didn't have their video that was saved that long, so the video is now gone. Other places just don't have surveillance video. I mean, if you live in a big city, you're used to Ring cameras, and pretty much every business has a surveillance camera. But in a place like Moab, many of the businesses don't have cameras. The assistant police chief even told me that's a problem that they run into a lot with all sorts of crimes, is that people and businesses just don't have cameras. And he also said that they were not able to find any surveillance video in the entire town of Brian and Gabby. The only video that they have of Brian and Gabby in town is from that body camera video.
Jennifer, Chris and Roberta Laundrie, do they hold the key to information here?
I don't believe so. I believe the FBI will be able to solve this crime based on their subpoenaed information they're going to get, based on the autopsy, the DNA evidence, looking at that site where the body was recovered, and then possibly another site where the crime occurred, possibly, witness statements, tracking all the cyber evidence. They're going to be able to put together a case without the Laundrie parents.
Brian, do you know if investigators are using satellite imagery to look at Grand Teton, to look at some of these other spots that may reveal some clues?
Well, we knew they were at one point. Whether they have been doing that again recently, we don't know. But after setting my eyes on the area where the body was found for the first time today, again, what I'll tell you is that the distance from the van to where the body was found is quite a long way, and there is this dirt road where the van was, Marnie, and yes, it's a desolate area, but we saw a number of cars driving by. I mean, it's not just like there's no one out there. I mean, there are campers, there were people driving by, and one thing I kept thinking about when we were out there is if Gabby's body was carried all the way from the van to where she was found, about 1,000 feet away, you would think someone may have seen that happen, because it would have been difficult with the creeks and the small river you have to go through. So we don't know, possibly did that happen in the nighttime, but it was certainly interesting to see it with our own eyes.
And maybe it pings and jogs someone's memory as to seeing or hearing something. Jennifer and Brian, thank you both. Now it's your turn at home. What questions do you still have? Jennifer and Brian are going to be back a little bit later in the show. Tweet a video with what you want to know about this case using the hashtag NewsNation Prime. We're going to air some of your questions later on in the broadcast. Next on NewsNation Prime, a nation searching for Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie leads to discoveries of other missing people, and also sparked new interest in solving a double murder case. As the search for Gabby and Brian captivated the world, two unintentional consequences came from all of this attention. One was the conversation it sparked about how some cases seem to get more attention than others by police and the media. It is why we launched our new series, Missing in America, here on NewsNation Prime. The other thing that happened as a nation was wrapped in the search for answers about Gabby and the search for Brian, other missing people were found along the way. Those discoveries being made from coast to coast. NewsNation correspondent Rich McHugh joining us live tonight in New Jersey with that part of this story. Rich.
Thank you, Marnie. The massive search for Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie spanned the entire country, with tips pouring in from virtually everywhere, leading authorities to at least 7 other bodies in locations that Brian Laundrie may have visited. In one case, it's even raising questions about his possible involvement in a double homicide.
Got a very stressed morning.
Moab, Utah, police body cam footage of Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito, along with the 911 call reporting domestic violence between the two, helped connect the dots in the case.
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl. He was slapping her?
Vital context and clues provided by a bystander. And as with much of this case, dissected online and by the public at large.
Pause this, screenshot it, share this.
Turns out that call was made outside this Utah grocery store, Moonflower Cooperative.
I'm right on the corner of Main Street by Moonflower.
Instantly, it shed new light on a different case. Kylen Schulte worked at Moonflower. She and her wife, Crystal Turner, disappeared the day after that 911 call was made. Days later, a friend found their campsite in the LaSalle Mountains, their bodies in a nearby creek riddled with bullet wounds. Schulte, according to a warrant, had mentioned to her friends that if something happened to them, that they were murdered, that there was a creepy man around their camp. Internet sleuths were quick to connect Laundrie and Petito to the two women, given the matching timelines. The day Gabby and Brian were fighting was at Moonflower Co-op, where one of the ladies was a cashier, one woman wrote. Another wrote, I think Brian was hitting Gabby and the couple saw it and wanted to do something, and then Brian killed the couple out of anger.
The natural conclusion that people were drawing is perhaps there was a connection between Brian Laundrie and these two dead women.
Jason Jensen is a Utah-based PI investigating the case. And the police initially came out and said, or investigators initially came out and said, there may be a connection here, but they've since come out and said, we don't believe there's a connection. You do, though. Tell me why.
Yeah, because there may be a connection, because until you identify a suspect, you don't know. So you don't want to start formulating tunnel vision or erroneously exclude people prematurely, because then it's harder to bring them back into the spotlight if that judgment was mistaken to begin with.
As the manhunt for Brian Laundrie intensified nationwide, the murders of Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner, unsolved, were the first in a growing list of grim discoveries, each somehow related to the search for Brian Laundrie. Reports that Laundrie had been spotted in Tillman Corner, Alabama, some 600 miles away from his family home in Florida, led police to a body behind this dumpster, but no link to Laundrie. Reports of Laundrie in North Carolina's Blue Ridge Mountains led search teams to another body, that of 33-year-old Josu Calderon, Rhode Island man who had been stabbed to death, found some 800 miles south. Sarah Bayard, missing since July, was found in El Paso County, Colorado, in an area where Petito and Laundrie had posted Instagram photos. Former New York police detective Michael Alcazar.
Now we have a lot of civilian investigators or internet sleuths that are providing tips for law enforcement they can vet and work on, so I think it's very helpful.
Back in Wyoming, near where Gabby Petito was found, another body discovered, that of Robert Lowry, father of two, who had been missing since August. Authorities there credit the news coverage and the public for help in finding his remains.
I think as a country, we realize that if your particular case isn't going any further, or maybe the leads have gone cold, we have the ability now, through social media, through Facebook, through Instagram, through YouTube, to continue the investigation, to ask for help.
Now, it's clear in cases like this that the public and social media do help. And from law enforcement I've spoken with, they say law enforcement across the country, they're starting to embrace this, especially in the major cities, forming social media teams. But it is not a nationwide thing yet, and it is definitely still in its infancy, Marnie.
Really incredible to see. Rich, thank you. I'd like to bring in Brian Entin once again. Brian, as we just saw, one of the cases that Rich is highlighting has generated a lot of chatter on social media across the world. You did some digging of your own on this mystery tonight.
Yeah, Marnie, the young married couple Kylen and Crystal, when we went to Moab, this is what everyone was talking about. They are scared because this young couple was murdered right outside Moab, and the killer is still on the run. Cindy Sue Hunter still can't believe they're gone. And what were these women like?
Just fun and goofy and daring and brave, and they just live life to the fullest. Anytime you saw them, they were just happy and friendly and warm, and they just made you feel good.
The pair lived at a wilderness campsite 45 minutes outside of town and told friends a guy camping nearby gave them the creeps. The women, before they were killed, was there a text sent about a creeper?
Well, they had told their friends at the bar, this is my understanding, it could be different, that there was a creeper dude, and he was too close.
The night of August 13th, the couple went to Woody's Tavern, then visited with friends who begged them not to go back to the campsite. it's the last time they were seen alive.
I think they thought they were safe. They knew that they needed to move. They weren't comfortable. But even though they made the offhanded comment, if we were murdered, it was him. I don't think they thought that was ever going to happen, or I don't think they would have went back up there.
When days went by with no word from them, Kylen's dad, out of state, called Hunter, asking if she could help.
Well, I drove around for almost 5 hours, stopping people, showing them pictures, asking if they'd seen them, telling them, please, if you see this car or these girls, call the police.
But some intuition drove her a little bit further. That's when she spotted the couple's car and nearby made a horrifying discovery.
I saw a body in the water, and I immediately turned away. I didn't want to know that that was a body there. I wanted to be wrong.
Then she waited for authorities to show up. What has happened since you made this discovery in terms of the investigation that you know?
Nothing.
Their campsite. Over here, somebody had a campfire ring.
That's why Salt Lake City private investigator Jason Jensen decided to come do some investigating of his own.
We've seen tragedy this year, tragedy like we've never seen before in Moab.
And though the Moab Police Department is not involved in this investigation, Assistant Chief Braden Palmer admits it's left residents on edge.
I think it's safe to say that the community is concerned.
2 months later, Cindy Hunter is frustrated that the murders are still unsolved. Do you think there's a killer in this area? Do you think it's someone who just moved through? I mean, what is your gut tell you?
I just don't know. I wish I did.
Another mystery highlighted by Gabby Petito's visit here, but still no answers.
We know nothing. They've told us that Brian Laundrie's not involved. They've told us that we're safe, but they don't tell us why. None of us feel safe.
So many questions and another sad story. Brian, we have learned that a phone was recovered from where their bodies were found at that scene, taken into evidence. Did police give you any information on who that phone belongs to and anything that may have been on it?
Well, the sheriff's office investigating there is not talking at all, but Cindy Sue told me when she showed up to the campsite, she saw that there was a phone propped up inside the tent. She saw it. She obviously didn't want to touch it based on everything else that she saw while she was out there. But she says the girls, their phone did not have cellular access. It wasn't hooked up to cell. It was only hooked up to Wi-Fi. So she suspects there may not be much on it.
And Brian, this creepy man that they described, did Kylen and Crystal tell anybody what he looked like? Did any of the other campers who were at that site see this person?
From the people that we've spoken to, they did not give any other details about a description, but that is another interesting point with the cell phone that you brought up. Many are wondering, could there possibly be a picture on that cell phone? Again, we know the sheriff's office has the cell phone, but they're not releasing what might be on it.
We hope it is something. Brian Entin, we'll see you in a moment. Next, Gabby's parents and the impact of all of this attention. Also, Gabby's legacy, a closer look. Next here on NewsNation Prime. And don't forget to tweet a video with a question for Brian or Jennifer using the hashtag NewsNationPrime. We'll be right back. The news surrounding Gabby Petito's disappearance not only dominated headlines in the U.S., but around the world. So many people feeling a connection to a young woman they would never meet. People wanting to learn more about Gabby. Across the country, thousands honored her with blue ribbons, just 22 years old when her life was cut short. Many of you have shared that Gabby reminds you of someone in your own life, young, full of joy, adventure, happiness, and hope for the future. And the outpouring of support from total strangers, something her family has said that they are forever grateful for.
I just hope that people are inspired by her. It's hard to put into words, but it means a lot to me that she's touched so many lives already.
Some good can come out of it, that we can help other people that may be in a similar situation.
We can't let her name be taken in vain. We need positive stuff, all right? So anything that we can do to bring that up and help people, that's what we want to do.
Gabby's parents have created the Gabby Petito Foundation, which raises money not only to help provide resources for other missing person cases, but also to help victims of domestic violence. For more information, visit GabbyPetitoFoundation.org. I'm going to go back now to Brian Entin, who is in Wyoming at Grand Teton National Park tonight. Brian, it is heartbreaking to see you go back to that spot where the white van was parked on the side of a dirt road and to trek through that creek and walk back to the place where Gabby's remains were discovered. I know for you, having been covering this story since the very beginning, it must be surreal and overwhelming. What struck you about that area? And just walk us back through what it was like being there.
Yeah, I think the word that you said really is the right word, sort of surreal. I messaged with Gabby's mom that we were out there, and I just kept thinking about her and Gabby's family and the fact that they were out there in the same spot. And I guess that was really at the forefront of my mind the entire time, thinking what it must have been like for them to be out there. And the sort of interesting thing is, you know, you're there thinking about how awful it is that her body was there and what must have happened to her, but it's just such an incredibly beautiful setting at the same time, and there is this strange sense of peace there because there are these creeks that move through the area and it's surrounded by mountains, and as I said in the piece in the beginning, I mean, you can just hope that, you know, the peaceful surroundings bring some comfort to Gabby's family, at least in some way.
A place that we know she loved so much based on what her family has shared and all of those videos that were so public for the world to see. Brian Entin, thank you. And we come back answering your questions about this case. Brian will be back along with Jennifer Coffendorfer standing by. Don't go anywhere. Our special report continues right after this. Finally tonight, we want to hear from you. We have retracked those final steps, looking for any clues that we may have missed along the way. Maybe you saw something, you noticed something. You've seen the reporting. Now your questions. I want to bring back Brian Entin and Jennifer Coffendorfer. We're going to get to a few of these, as many as we can, and thank you at home for submitting. All right, this first question is for you, Jennifer, focused on the Laundrie family and the investigation. Let's listen.
Hi, Jennifer and Brian. My name is Kate, and my question is for Jennifer. Do you think that the Laundrie parents are going to be discovered by the FBI to have helped Brian stay hidden in the Carlton Reserve?
Thank you, Kate. That's a good question. I don't think, and I wouldn't imagine, that the FBI will go after the Laundrie parents for harboring their son. After all that's come out and the fact he is now deceased, I don't think we could expect that. I think an obstruction charge would be more possible, although that would take also some pretty heavy evidence that I haven't seen yet in terms of cleaning that van or hiding some evidence or indicia of that crime.
This next question is for Brian. This is from Jessica.
My question is, have you investigated into what the domestic violence training requirement is for the Moab police? Also, have you investigated into this here in Florida?
Another good question from Jessica. In terms of Moab, they actually just had a training a very short time ago after the Gabby Petito incident for all of their officers, going over their domestic violence protocols. And you'll notice in my piece, we weren't able to get into specifics with the assistant chief about what happened because there is an ongoing investigation right now by an outside agency into whether or not the officers in Moab handled the situation correctly. So because of that ongoing investigation, we weren't able to ask the assistant chief specifics about what he thought about what the officers did in the video.
Brian, we have another question to you. This is on Twitter, and so we'll put this question up on the screen now. This asks, is there proof that Brian Laundrie flew back to Florida? Where was Gabby during that time? Airport and flight proof. Brian.
So you saw when we went to the hotel near the airport that the manager and the staff there would not talk to us at all. But we know that Gabby was there, at least according to Cassie, Brian's sister, because you'll remember Cassie said that she did a FaceTime with Gabby when Brian was back in Florida, and that she saw and spoke to Gabby. So based on what Cassie said, we know that Gabby was there at the hotel in Salt Lake.
Jennifer, this next question is for you. This is from Holly tonight.
My question for you is, what does the legal road look like for this case? As far as, do you think this is something that the Petitos will be proceeding with in court, or is this something that they'll settle outside of court? Thank you.
So the question is, will there be some sort of civil lawsuit that would occur by the Petitos against the Laundries for their involvement? Certainly, if Brian Laundrie were still alive, there would be a subsequent civil suit after the criminal suit terminated. But against the Laundries, I don't know what kind of evidence they are going to have, particularly that would show that a civil lawsuit would be a winner.
Jennifer, another question that we're getting from a lot of people on Twitter right now is people wondering if the FBI will ever be able to connect Brian to Gabby's death. What do you think?
I absolutely think they will be able to do that. And I think they will because of all the evidence that we can't even see, but we know is out there, including all the evidence that was gleaned from Gabby Petito's autopsy, as well as the crime scene area where her body was discovered and that inner lying area, as well as, again, all that cyber information. Remember, there's a trail of him going back home. There's going to be phone messages. There's going to be telephone communications that are going to be able to be tracked, the subpoenaed information. They are going to be able to put together a case.
Brian, I have one more question from you, and I haven't heard this asked very often, but do we know, have law enforcement indicated, did Brian Laundrie have a gun, access to a gun, and did Brian and Gabby travel with a gun on their cross-country trip? Do we know?
We don't know, and that is a question that has come up over and over again, and I have asked Northport Police that, and they say that they can't comment, and the FBI won't comment. So the bottom line at this point is we don't know, and we've also asked specifically, was there a gun found at the Carlton Reserve, and police also will not answer that.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.